The role of shame as a binding agent. How inherited shame becomes the emotional glue holding a curse in place. If a generational curse is the architecture of bondage, shame is the mortar that holds the bricks together. It is one of the most potent and reliable tools for keeping a curse operational, because it doesn't just live in the mind, it settles into the body, rewires behavior, and dictates choices before conscious thought even begins. Shame differs from guilt. Guilt says, I did something wrong. Shame says, I am wrong. And once the identity itself is poisoned, the curse no longer needs active enforcement. At every moment, the shame will do it automatically, on autopilot, generation after generation. Why shame is so effective for curse binding. Shame is not just an emotion. It's an energetic contract that declares, you are unworthy of freedom. You are disqualified from receiving good things. You are obligated to hide parts of yourself to be accepted. You must pay for the family's sins with your silence, compliance, and self-limitation. Because shame operates internally, it often bypasses conscious resistance. Even when you break the visible structures of a curse, if shame is still in place, it quietly reattaches the curse to the bloodline. How shame is installed in a bloodline. Shame rarely starts with you. It's usually installed in one of three ways: inherited from a major event. An ancestor's public scandal, moral failure, or catastrophic loss becomes the defining mark of the family identity. From that moment forward, everything is filtered through the lens of, we are the family who did that. Ritual humiliation. In ritual abuse or occult family systems, humiliation is used deliberately as a spiritual initiation, stripping away dignity, embedding unworthiness, and creating psychic fractures that can be exploited for life. Cultural and social shaming. Entire communities can participate in marking a family as less than, especially if the family crossed powerful people, broke social taboos, or was used as a scapegoat during times of political or religious control. The mechanics of shame. As glue, shame is effective as a curse-binding agent because it enforces silence. If speaking truth would reveal something shameful, the shame prevents disclosure, protecting the curse's secrecy. Limits. Visibility. People under shame-based programming often sabotage their own opportunities to avoid being seen and judged. Maintains internal policing. Family members will enforce the shame rules on each other, punishing those who act too proud or above their station. Blocks receiving shame. Convinces the curse that they are undeserving of love, provision, health, or success, even when those things are available. Patterns of inherited shame, the family secret, and an unspoken event everyone knows but refuses to acknowledge, leaving an ambient cloud of disgrace that colors all interactions. The black sheep narrative. A designated family scapegoat absorbs the projected shame so others can feel clean, but the scapegoat's exile keeps the curse alive. Generational self-sabotage. Just as someone is about to succeed, the shame triggers an implosion to avoid outshining the family norm. Pride as a mask, overcompensation with arrogance or perfectionism to keep others from seeing the deep shame underneath. Case study: the exiled daughter. In one Caribbean family, an ancestor in the early 1900s gave birth to a child fathered by a man from a rival clan. To preserve the family's honor, the child was given away and the mother sent abroad under the guise of work. The story told to future generations was that she left for opportunity, not that she was shamed into exile. For the next 4 generations, daughters were consistently removed from their home communities before age 20. Any romantic partnership outside the family's cultural boundaries ended in public humiliation. Women who tried to speak about the family's controlling history were labeled as ungrateful and cut off. The shame of the original pregnancy was never addressed. It simply changed costumes, playing out through relocation, control of relationships, and forced silence. How shame protects the curse. Shame ensures that the origin story of the curse remains hidden, because to expose it would require revealing the unacceptable event or choice. Descendants stay within the approved range of behavior, avoiding anything that might stir up or challenge the family's public image. Those who try to break free face internal sabotage, sudden feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, or fear of exposure just when they approach a breakthrough. In other words, shame makes the curse police themselves. Signs. You're dealing with shame-based binding. Chronic fear of embarrassment, even in safe settings. Over-apologizing for things that require no apology. Feeling the need to earn love, safety, or basic needs. Keeping silent about truth to avoid making the family look bad. Shrinking from opportunities because they feel too big for someone like me. Breaking the shame bind. Breaking shame is one of the most liberating and confrontational parts of curse breaking. It requires both exposure and replacement. Expose the original source name, the event, decision, or agreement that seeded the shame. If necessary, trace it to the ancestor who carried it first. Separate identity from event. Declare, in both practical and spiritual terms, that the event is something that happened, not something you are. Remove the silence clause. Talk about it. Write about it. Break the "we don't speak of this" rule. This alone disrupts the curse's glue. replace with honor. Introduce new family language, rituals, and values that restore dignity. Replace "we're the family who failed" with "we're the family who overcame." If you dismantle every other part of a curse but leave shame intact, the curse will rebuild itself. Shame is the emotional cement that keeps people in place, even without bars on the cage. Freedom requires prying up every hardened layer of shame until the foundation of the curse is exposed and crumbles. Hi, I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and what you just watched is part of my signature program, the Chosen One series inside School of Soul. This series is not just a course, it's a blueprint for those who know they were different from the start: the black sheep, the scapegoat, the truth teller, the cycle breaker. Inside, you'll discover the family roles playbook, the golden child, the scapegoat, the enabler, the lost child, and how to finally step out of the part you were cast in without consent. How the black sheep becomes the goat, turning rejection into radical transformation in leadership. How to break generational curses and rewrite ancestral contracts so the pain stops with you. And how to recognize and escape modern forms of spiritual and technological targeting, from gang stalking to synthetic synchronicity. This isn't just about survival. It's about awakening, about reclaiming your voice, your lineage, and your destiny as one of the chosen ones. Click the link below to access the full series now, because the role ends the moment you decide it does, and the real script begins with you.